Good evening, Rotarians and friends. Tonight, let's know more about the public service done by our fellow Rotarians all over the country. You can also invite your friends and family abroad to see us via live streaming at www.untvweb.com. So join us again in Rotary in Action. We're happy people serving people.
Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang paggagapay ng ating mga kasangbahay na Rotarians mula sa Rotary International District 3780 sa pangunguna ni Community Service Chair Aiza Remedios. Katuwang ang UNTV at programang serbisyong kasangbahay, matagumpay na naidaos ang medical, dental at legal mission sa Barangay Bagong Silang Phase 10A, Package 2, Caloocan City. Namahagi ang mga all-star presidents ng District 3780 ng libreng postiso para sa ating mga kababayang senior citizen. Namahagi din ng wheelchair at mga crutches. Kasama din nagbigay ng libreng serbisyo ang Rotary Community Corps ng Rotary Club of Kamuning Central Dental Team.
You're still watching Rotary in Action with me, past District Governor Jess Cifra. A while ago, we presented Rotary Club's projects in serving those who are in need. Now, let's get to know more about this Rotarian who has made significant contributions in Rotary and his community. And he is our man of the hour.
H.S. Risley was elected as the Rotary International President for the Rotary year 2017-2018. He is a member of the Rotary Club of Sandringham, Victoria, Australia. He will become the President nominee on October 1 if no other candidates challenge him. Risley is a practicing accountant and principal of Ian Risley and Company, which specializes in advising local and international businesses and has a strong interest in international affairs. He is a Rotary member since 1978. Risley has served Rotary as Treasurer, Director, Trustee, Rotary International Board Executive Committee member, Task Force member, Committee member and Chair, and District Governor. He is also a former member of the Australian Polio Eradication Private Sector Campaign and a recipient of the Rotary Foundation Service Award for a polio-free world. And he and his wife, Juliet, are multiple Paul Harris Fellows, major donors, and Bequest Society members.
Good evening, I am Marilyn Tronqued Lagniton of the Rotary Club of Bagong Sandigan. And with me tonight is the District 3780's Governor, Governor Dwight Ramos. Good evening to you, Governor Dwight.
Hi, good evening, Marilyn.
And this is an auspicious event, of course. The incoming Rotary International President-elect, Ian Risley. How auspicious is this, Governor Dwight, that the President-elect of Rotary International comes to this country, to the Philippines?
Well, it is very, and it's really a very important event for us because it is a very rare occasion that the incoming RI President comes and visits the district that we have here in Quezon City. And he's not only visiting the district, of course, he's also visiting the city because we are one city, one district, District 3780 Quezon City. And so now we were able to bring him here at the Novotel Araneta, of course, the very heart of Cubao, which is an icon of business and industry in Quezon City.
What is the purpose of his visit here, Governor?
Well, this visit is, of course, to bring goodwill and to inspire our local Rotarians. And this year, of course, we are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Rotary Foundation. And part of the things that they are pushing is really for us to look into and emphasize the 100th birthday of our own foundation, the Rotary Foundation.
100 years of doing good for humanity.
Correct, yes.
Tell us how far the Rotary Foundation has gone from 1917, if 100 years ago.
That's right, yes.
From I think it was like when they started, they had like $26 to their name,
50 cents, yes.
and 50 cents, $29.50.
And now to
today-
3 billion, more than 3 billion US dollars.
And how many have they helped worldwide?
Well, millions also. And as you know, this goes to education, peace and conflict resolution, and of course, the biggest fight in the whole world. That is the fight against polio.
The fight against polio with partners who are in themselves also very big foundations.
Well, the World Health Organization itself, of
Right.
course, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation,
That's
of course,
right.
yes.
How significant has the role of the Philippines been in the Rotary Foundation's programs, particularly in polio and all the other programs of the foundation?
Very, very significant because the fight against polio really started in the Philippines. In 1979, they called it the 3H grant.
Right.
And they started looking at polio and how to fight it because, well, your generation and mine, when we were growing up as kids, we always had a classmate
That's right.
beside us or behind us who always had polio. And we know how debilitating this disease is. And for some of us, even the parents, the grandparents, and the mother or the father were afflicted. And when you were afflicted with this, it really changes your life in a way that you cannot have a life anymore. That was how bad it was.
And I guess the meaning of the 100th year of the Rotary Foundation becomes even more meaningful because the Rotary has been a major force in eradicating 99.9% polio in the world.
Yes, that's true. As a matter of fact, sometimes I say that probably only God can take out an endemic disease from the face of the earth. But of course, here, us Rotarians, mere mortals, are able to give it a shot. And hopefully, because it's now 99.9% eradicated, this year or in the very, very near future, polio will no longer be a byword in this human world.
This is like the beginning of your year as governor.
Yes,
You're
it is.
into your second or third month as governor. How do you foresee your year coming along, and what kind of year do you see at the end of your term?
Well, of course, this year, our very own RI President, John Germ, has identified Rotary Serving Humanity as our theme. And so this year is really dedicated to enhanced humanitarian service. All the more, this is the 112th year of Rotary, and it is the 100th year of the Rotary Foundation. And when we say Rotary Serving Humanity, it really means intensified human service this year.
Great. And do you foresee any challenges at all that I'm sure you will manage to tackle anyway? But what are the biggest hurdles to the success of Rotary here in the country, and particularly in your district?
Well, here in the country, of course, we know that we are always at risk from the climate change. We all know that this year, this month most especially, we are seeing a lot more rain and rains that we haven't seen before in our lives. It's really a challenge for all of us.
That was a big scare.
Yes, that's a big scare, and for us to respond to every rain now, it's really hard. Because before, we used to respond to typhoons about 20 a year, and every time there's a typhoon, it affects us, then we respond to it. But those are only 20 typhoons. But now, every rain, that is what we call now habagat.
Right.
There's not even a typhoon,
Right.
but it's a typhoon-like rain.
Right.
And it's no longer just 20. It can come today, tomorrow, the next day. Well, that's the big challenge now. And we Rotarians must really be prepared, all the more to help our kababayans.
District 3780 has been very aggressive and continues to do that. And of course, this year, under the leadership of District Governor Dwight Ramos, we are going to make Rotary bigger and bolder.
Yes.
Thank you very
That's a
much.
promise.
Yeah.
As they say,
See?
the best is yet to be.
The best
So
is
thank
yet
you,
to be.
Marilyn, for
Thank
that.
you, Governor
Thank you.
Dwight.
Okay.
The Paul Harris Fellow Recognition acknowledges individuals who have contributions of $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. It was established in 1957 to show appreciation and encourage substantial contributions to what was then the Foundation's only program. In line with this, the Rotary International District 3780 holds its Paul Harris Fellow Thanksgiving Dinner and Recognition Night. This event was attended by Dr. Siva Ananthan, a past president and charter member of the Rotary Club of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, D3300. More than 100 of Paul Harris Fellows graced the event, led by outgoing Governor Reynaldo Ravid.
A lot of Rotarians don't think of the real impact of what they're doing. And sometimes what we fail to realize is that you and I, we are the purveyors of hope. That's what we stand. It's the most easy to give, most difficult to find, and most wonderful thing if you can convey it. Hope is the most sublime gift you can give anybody. Every time we touch a human being and we give purpose to a life, we make their life change. And when their lives change, the lives of the people around them also changes. I want you to always remember this. And there is no such thing as a small contribution. You said that, right? There's no such thing as a small contribution. Because there's only two kinds of people in the world. There is the kind of people who will use others, and there is the kind of people who will be of use to others. We are the kind of people who are of use to others. That makes us exceptional. So, my first request to you, I don't have to make this request to you, it's redundant, but keep giving generously to the Rotary Foundation. Rethink who you are. Rethink what you're doing here.
The number of Paul Harris Fellows reached the 1 million mark in 2006, who continuously support the programs of Rotary's International's 6 areas of focus, including peace and conflict prevention, solution, disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, and economic and community development.
Ayon sa datos ng Rotary International, sa buong mundo, tinatayang 67 milyong mga kabataan ang walang kakayahang makapag-aral o mapag-aral ng kanilang mga magulang. Mahigit sa 775 milyong tao na 15 taong gulang pataas ay nabibilang sa mga illiterate. Kaya naman, upang maibsan ang suliraning ito, isa sa mga 6 na areas of focus ng Rotary International ay ang Basic Literacy and Education na ipinagdiriwang ng Rotary International tuwing buwan ng Setyembre kalinsabay ng iba't ibang proyekto. Kaugnay nito, isang community-based welding skills training program ang matagumpay na naidaos ng Rotary Club of Kabuyaw Circle na may temang Kaalaman, Daan sa Kaunlaran. 20 residente ng Barangay Sala, Kabuyaw, Laguna ang nabigyan ng libreng skills training ng club sa pakikipagtulungan ng TESDA. Layunin ng mga ganitong uri ng proyekto ng Rotary na mapaigting ang kapasidad ng komunidad na masuportahan ang basic education and literacy at mabawasan ang gender disparity in education at mapataas ang antas ng adult literacy.
Rotary in Action would like to thank Fatrol. Ayaw mo bang tumaba? Take the power of 500. Take Fatrol. And live it. Take care of your liver with Live It. Available at all leading drugstores nationwide. At sa Numams, maging bidang nanay sa Numams Malunggay. Gayon din sa Osteogard. Tulong iwas arthritis sa Osteogard. Go galaw! Wow! At tulad po ng laging sinasabi ni Kuya Daniel Razon, ang paggawa ng mabuti ay hindi kailanman magbubunga ng masama. Join us again next week. Dito lang po sa Rotary in Action, we're happy people serving people.
I want to be a Rotarian for the world. Make the Rotary flag as the flag of peace unfurled. I shall serve